Between Mindoro and Batangas lies a sleeping monster, a 200-kilometer fault line that hasn't moved in more than 400 years. Scientists call it the Mindoro Earthquake Gap, a silent section of the Earth's crust so overdue for movement that when it finally ruptures, it could unleash a triple disaster across western Luzon: a magnitude 8+ earthquake, massive landslides, and a tsunami that could reach Manila Bay in just 15 minutes. This isn't the Manila Trench. It isn't the West Valley Fault. It's a hidden threat almost no one in the Philippines is talking about, one that could devastate millions. Stretching between Mindoro Island and southern Luzon, this 200-kilometer-long fault runs parallel to Manila Bay. It's part of the broader Philippine Mobile Belt, a region where several tectonic plates constantly collide. Historical records suggest its last major rupture happened around 1610, over 410 years ago. That means centuries of tectonic stress have been building, waiting for release. Many Filipinos have heard of the West Valley Fault or the Manila Trench, but the Mindoro Gap is uniquely dangerous. The Manila Trench lies 120 kilometers offshore. The Mindoro Gap sits only 30 to 50 kilometers from land, close enough that tsunamis could arrive in mere minutes. The West Valley Fault is an inland system under Metro Manila. The Mindoro Gap is offshore, meaning it can generate both strong shaking and tsunamis. And the Philippine Trench, on the country's east side, threatens a different region altogether. The Mindoro Gap directly endangers western Luzon, where millions live and work. On November 15, 1994, at 3:15 a.m., a magnitude 7.1 quake struck near Calapan City. 78 people died, hundreds were injured, and thousands of homes collapsed. But here's the key. That event was only a partial rupture. Just 40 to 60 kilometers of the fault slipped. The rest of the 200-kilometer segment remains locked. Scientists say the big one for this fault hasn't happened yet. Studies by FIVOLCS and the University of the Philippines reveal clear fault scarps, underwater cliffs marking past ruptures. Sediment cores show no signs of recent disturbance. GPS data reveal that the crust is still straining, and coral uplift studies suggest that ancient quakes once lifted parts of the coast by up to 5 meters. Globally, similar faults rupture every 300 to 500 years. The Mindoro Gap is now over 410 years overdue, with an estimated 25 to 35% chance of producing a magnitude 7.5 plus quake within the next 30 years. A full rupture could produce a magnitude 7.8 to 8.2 earthquake. The most affected areas would include Batangas, Cavite, southern Metro Manila, Puerto Galera, and all of Mindoro Island, home to nearly 10 million people. Expect intensity a 8 to 9 shaking, enough to destroy older buildings and trigger liquefaction in reclaimed zones. The slopes of Batangas and Tagaytay Ridge are steep and unstable. During the 1994 quake, over 300 landslides occurred. A full rupture could produce 10 times that number, burying entire communities, blocking roads, and isolating towns. Even underwater landslides in Manila Bay could generate secondary tsunamis. If the seafloor lifts by just 3 to 5 meters, it could displace millions of tons of water. The Batangas coast could be hit within 5 to 8 minutes, Cavite in 10 to 12, and Manila Bay in 15 to 20 minutes. Initial waves may reach 5 to 10 meters high, with deadly surges hitting coastal barangays in Batangas, Cavite, Puerto Galera, and even Navotas, Malabon, and Pasay. There would be almost no time to evacuate once the shaking stops. Despite the risk, the Mindoro Gap barely gets attention. The West Valley Fault dominates public awareness. Underwater fault research is expensive and underfunded. There's no tsunami warning system in the Verde Island Passage, and the rapid coastal development in Batangas and Cavite continues, resorts, condos, and industrial parks rising in high-risk zones without retrofitting or evacuation plans. The 1755 Lisbon earthquake, a similar nearshore rupture, destroyed one of Europe's richest cities and killed up to 100,000 people. The 2011 Christchurch quake in New Zealand showed how even a hidden fault can devastate a modern city. And the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami proved how quickly the sea can turn deadly, killing 230,000 people across Asia. The Philippines faces an eerily similar setup: densely populated coastlines, limited warning systems, and a powerful fault waiting to move. Small magnitude 3 to 5 tremors occur monthly near the Mindoro Gap, hinting at stress buildup. GPS data show Batangas is moving 2 to 3 centimeters per year relative to Manila. But without detailed seafloor surveys and ocean bottom sensors, no one knows exactly how close the fault is to failure. If the quake struck today, the first minute would bring intense shaking, downed power lines, and collapsing buildings. Within 5 minutes, landslides would begin around Tayal, and the sea might pull back, a sign of an incoming tsunami few would recognize. By 10 minutes, a wall of water would crash into Batangas and Mindoro. By 20 minutes, it would surge into Manila Bay, flooding Tondo to Pasay. Within a single day, the death toll could reach the tens of thousands. What can be done? Research must come first. Map the entire fault with sonar, install tsunami buoys, and conduct paleoseismic studies to learn when and how it last ruptured. Infrastructure must be strengthened. Build evacuation towers, retrofit schools and hospitals, and implement automated alert systems. Public awareness is essential. Teach tsunami warning signs like ground shaking, water withdrawal, and unusual sea noise. Post evacuation route signs and include earthquake safety in schools. And policy must evolve. Restrict new construction in inundation zones, enforce strict building codes, and fund a Mindoro Gap monitoring program through 50LCS. The 1994 earthquake was a warning, and we ignored it. We kept building closer to the sea, unaware that beneath those waters lies one of the Philippines' most dangerous faults. The Mindoro Earthquake Gap is locked, and the stress keeps building. Whether it ruptures tomorrow or decades from now, it will happen. The question is whether we'll be ready. Check if you live in a tsunami zone. Learn the warning signs. Know where to run. And share this information, because awareness is the first line of defense. When the Mindoro Gap finally moves, preparation, not panic, will decide who survives.